You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, they want her dead. They want her dead. I'm actually talking about the transgender volleyball player. Because on the San Jose State University team, the co-captain, Brooke Slusser, is not a fan of having a transgender teammate on her team, Blaire Fleming. A lot of these schools, guys, are boycotting this team. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's 4 teams already that have said, no, we're not going to play. And people actually want Brooke Slusser dead because she is supporting the boycott. I told you guys, man, the boycott is growing. But these deranged lunatics out there who want men and women's sports, they can't handle it. So now they're going after Brooke Slusser and are trying to get her killed. This is crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. The Wolves have definitely lost their mind. They've lost their minds, folks. No man should be playing in women's sports. I'm going to say that again. No man should be playing in women's sports, guys. I mean, these people are so crazy now that they're willing to kill to have a male in women's sports. That's just utterly crazy, man. 20 years ago, man, this would not be happening. 20 years ago, man, I mean, it seems like we're like 300 years in the future. Really, tell you the truth. Because if I was to tell you 10 years ago there'll be a bunch of men in women's sports, I would say, nah, man, you got to be crazy. You got to be crazy. Nah, but we're not 300 years in the future. We're like 10 years in the future. And it's really, really getting out of hand, guys. But women are fighting back. There's lawsuits. The NCAA's getting sued. Women are starting to wake up. Women are starting to wake up. But we know there's politicians out there, guys, that really do support men and women's sports, i.e. Democrats. But let's get into this, guys. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member, live stream every single Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. You guys can also support us by becoming a member on blackandwhitenetwork.com or supporting us on Locals, both for just $5 per month. Check the links in the description. So here we go. Right here, guys. I was stunned when I saw this. San Jose women's volleyball player receives death threats after supporting competitors' boycott of her own team due to trans player, according to reports. And this is Brooke Slusser right here on the left. And that is the male right there on the right, Blaire Fleming. It says here, the co-captain of the San Jose State University's women's volleyball team has reportedly received death threats after she spoke out against the inclusion of biological males on women's sports teams. Brooke Slusser plays on the same team as trans-identified male Blaire Fleming, and 3 teams have pulled out of competing against the team. I believe I said 4, but it's actually 3. Slusser has joined over a dozen other female athletes in a class action lawsuit against the NCAA for Title IX violations over the inclusion of biological males on women's sports teams, Outkick reported. The lawsuit was originally filed in March with athletes such as former University of Kentucky swimmer Riley Gaines, Olympian Rekha Georgi, and 2-time NCAA champion Kylie Alonso joining in, Outkick reported. The lawsuit is being financially backed by the Independent Council on Women's Sports, aka ICONS. Okay. Now, if you guys remember, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris wanted to amend Title IX to include gender identity. And guess what? The courts struck it down. They struck it down, man. I mean, what Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were going to do to women's sports, man, was going to completely change women's sports forever, man. I mean, I believe it wouldn't even be called women's sports anymore, to tell you the truth. But anyway, a suspected threat against Sluicer's life was sent to one of her teammates on October 2nd. It's only a few days ago. Through Instagram, Redux reported. Sluicer contacted police in Fort Collins after being made aware of the threat. Sluicer was in Fort Collins ahead of the team's game against Colorado State University. Both teams were informed of the threat against Sluicer and cooperated with police. The October 3rd game was intended to serve as the school's, quote, annual inclusive excellence game. I wonder what that actually means, but I guess you can take a guess. The Thursday night game was the first that San Jose team has lost this season. Yeah, they lost. They didn't have, I believe, their best player, and they lost. Speaking with Redux ahead of the game, Sluicer said that there would be police escorting athletes to and from their vehicles, locker rooms, and the gym, and that there would be metal detectors at entrance points and armed officers present to ensure the safety of those in attendance. Quote, after being shown a threat, it was a very uneasy feeling, just because everything else that I've gotten so far, if it's not in support of me, it's just hate mail, basically, Sluicer said. Just people behind their screens saying hateful things that don't mean anything to me. But reading that, it sent chills through me at first. Wow. Just because that's someone threatening to physically harm me. So I guess, her getting hate mail, nothing new. But I don't know exactly what was actually said in this death threat. But it had to be pretty chilling, folks. Because now the police are involved and now players are getting escorted. This is volleyball, guys. Volleyball. Anyway, it goes on. She told the outlet that the attention she has received since joining the lawsuit can be overwhelming. But she said that, quote, this is the right thing to do. Quote, it's not something I'm stressing about or anxious about because it's the right thing to do, Sluicer said. To my core, I believe this is the right thing to do. And I think a lot of people agree with that. I agree too. So it's just dealing with the ebb and flow of how this situation is going to play out. Man, there are really, really some evil people out there, folks. Really, really evil people. I hope they actually find out who sent the death threat. This should not be happening, folks. It should not be happening. And they're doing this all in the name of keeping a male on a women's sports team, guys. Just think about how crazy that is, because it is crazy. You want a male on a female sports team, and you're actually willing to kill a male to make that happen? This is crazy, man. These women aren't backing down. They're not backing down, man. And I believe the NCAA should do a whole lot more to protect the women. I'm wondering what the NCAA actually has to say about this. I'm curious about that. What does San Jose State actually have to say? Because I'm willing to bet, man, they're more than willing to protect the male on the team than the female. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.